Ladies and gentlemen, the American Cheering Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Eric Deters Show. Top story was from over the weekend. Can't believe I forgot to do it yesterday, but I'll do it now. J.D. Vance took down ABC, Martha Radis, look at it, by saying, do you hear yourself? Do you hear yourself? It was great. Bill Clinton, he was captured on video. This is going to be used in a commercial where he said Laken Riley was murdered. If that guy would have been properly vetted, she wouldn't have been murdered. Boy, does that hurt.
Case in Georgia not very long ago, didn't you? They made an ad about a young woman who'd been killed by an immigrant. Yeah, well, if they'd all been properly vetted, that probably wouldn't have happened. But if they're all properly vetted and that doesn't happen.
And also, Bill Clinton went to McDonald's, and a McDonald's worker, we got a video clip for you, thought that he was Joe Biden. By the way, one thing I want to add about that is he had a USA jacket on. You never see a USA jacket on Hillary, do you? Nope. Kamala Harris is apparently being accused of her 2009 book, Plagiarism. You can't make this up. You know what she used? She apparently copied Wikipedia stories. Way to go, Kamala. Black voters are turning more and more towards Trump. Now, this is the reality. Last go around, he got 10%. Now they're talking about this time around getting 20%. That's double the black vote. What do you think that does in a close election? Arab voters are abandoning Harris too. She's not going to get the Jewish vote or the Arab. She pisses off everybody because that's the kind of person she is. Geraldo Rivera endorsed Kamala Harris. Good hold Geraldo. Although I think I'm going to talk about Geraldo with Butcher Pakistan. Remind me about that spin. He's somebody that might be able to help us on that. But his endorsements suck. 10,000 border agents is what Trump says he's going to hire. That's a good campaign issue. And the polls are all coming Trump's way. He's apparently up 3 now in Michigan. And Kamala Harris' campaign is in a panic, and they're in the quicksand. It'll keep getting worse. Barack Obama, he says there's no enthusiasm that he sees. Thanks for reinforcing the no enthusiasm, Barack. You trying to help Kamala or not? Brett Baier is going to sit down with Kamala Harris tomorrow. That ought to be interesting. Trump's already lobbying Baier by making fun of him. That's the way you do it. And then Joe Rogan. Kamala Harris says she'd like to go on Joe Rogan. Well, that ought to be interesting. Also, True Value. This is sad. The Biden economy, Bidenomics, True Value's filed bankruptcy, and they're going to sell to a competitor. Kamala Harris, trying to get that black vote back, wants to give 1 million forgivable loans of black entrepreneurs. If you're a white entrepreneur, too bad. Catholic voters, they're all going to Trump too. It's a jailbreak, folks. Everything's breaking Trump's way during early voting. The 2 victims that were shot and did not die at the Trump rally gave a heartfelt interview, and guess what? Who they blame? Secret Service, because they are to blame. And Trump was at a town hall with just women, and when he was speaking, there was apparently many that need medical attention. He kept having music come on, including Ave Maria. He says, isn't that beautiful? You gotta love Trump. See, he knows how to do stuff off the cuff. Instead of Kamala Harris, when it goes down her teleprompter, and it goes 32 weeks, and she starts 32 days, and she repeats 32 days 65 times. This is the Bulldog. Do not be a vain, salt-buttered horn beast. The Shakespearean insult today. Coming up next, local news. All right, here we go with local news. I want to start with something in Kentucky. You ready for this? Harlan County, Kentucky has a coal mining museum. You can go back down there, Jamie, and check that out. 100 arrests were made in Ohio for human trafficking, announced by the Attorney General Yost. Hell, there was a prosecutor. There was somebody that ran a women's, just terrible, disgusting stuff. Michael Adams, spokesperson, says, yes, he is considering running for governor. I'll be running against you, Michael. And Ohio early voting has been going on, and it's been the most early voting ever. That's a good sign. That means Trump's finally got Republicans voting early. And Reading schools closed today from an undisclosed threat. We know what that is. It involves violence. Coming up next, Jamie Spindley and World News, who I crushed twice today.
Hello again, the latest world headlines. A devastating airstrike in northern Lebanon has claimed the lives of at least 21 people, with 8 others injured. The strike targeted a residential building in Adu, a largely Christian village located away from the usual conflict zones. Israeli forces, typically focused on Hezbollah strongholds, are believed to have carried out the rare attack. NASA has launched a spacecraft amid exploring one of Jupiter's most intriguing moons, Europa. The Europa Clipper departed from Cape Canaveral after a hurricane delay will travel 1.8 billion miles to reach the icy moon by the year 2030. Scientists hope the mission will uncover potential signs of life on the distant world, potentially reshaping our understanding of the solar system. In other news, India and Canada have entered a new phase of diplomatic friction, expelling 6 diplomats in each in retaliation. The escalating dispute stems from allegations that Indian agents were involved in the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, a Canadian citizen and advocate for independent Sikh states. The dispute continues to strain relations between the two nations. And Hong Kong zoologists and botanical gardens have closed part of their facility after the sudden deaths of 9 monkeys within 2 days, including 3 endangered species. Experts have been brought in to investigate, and 1 remaining monkey showing abnormal behavior is under close observation. The zoo has begun disinfecting the affected areas as they search for answers. You're up to date on the world news. Stay tuned for Sports Without Boundaries. Till tomorrow, take care.
Just got a few sports for you for Sports Without Boundaries. The Colorado Buffaloes and Deion Sanders are going to be playing the UC Bearcats in Colorado at 10:15. So big old game for UC. Yankees 5, Guardians 2. Soto hit a home run. Mets 7, Dodgers 3. They'll go back at it again tonight. Or Yankees, Guardians, Dodgers, and Mets are going to play on Thursday. And the Bills beat the Jets 23-20. In late news here, the Jets have traded apparently for the Raiders for Devontae Adams, hooking him back up with Aaron Rodgers. Coming up next, pop culture. Ladies and gentlemen, American Jerry and Bulldog Nation, pop culture, we got one story. It was breaking yesterday, and they made a big deal about this, that Christopher Columbus might have been secretly Jewish. Apparently they used some DNA, and based upon that DNA, he was Jewish. Unlike Jamie Spinley, who thought he was from Portugal, I knew he was from Genoa, Italy. And you know what? Who cares if he was Jewish? I'm like, who cares? Do you like Christopher Columbus more or less because he's Jewish? I don't. Go ahead, Jamie.
I said Christopher Columbus came from Portugal. I didn't say he was born in Portugal. I knew he was born in Italy, but he came from Portugal when he came on.
And this is why they call him Spin. It has nothing to do with his name Spinley. Special guest here, Sabrina, my crack producer's sister, and George. Krista and George, thanks for stopping in. Full house today.